A king once gave two men the same opportunity. Both were poor. Both were desperate. Both were willing to work harder than anyone else. 10 years later, one of them ruled the largest trading empire in the kingdom. The other was still poor, still working, still struggling. One day, the king asked the poor man a single question, and the answer revealed a brutal truth about why most people stay poor their entire lives. Many years ago, in a kingdom filled with merchants and traders, two young men arrived at the palace gates. They had nothing. No money, no land, no family wealth. Just hunger and ambition. The king was known for giving opportunities to the poor, so he called the two men forward. "I will give both of you the same chance," the king said. He handed each of them a small bag of gold. "Vida, use this to build a life." The two men bowed deeply. The first man, Ethan, ran straight to the marketplace. The second man, Logan, did something different. Ethan bought tools, he bought supplies, and he began working immediately. Day after day, he worked harder than everyone else. He woke before sunrise. He slept after midnight. People admired his determination. But something troubling happened. The gold slowly disappeared. Expenses grew. Prices changed. The little profit he made went only toward daily upkeep. Food, rent, repairs. There was nothing left to save, nothing left to invest, nothing to grow. After years of struggling like this, Ethan began questioning everything he believed. "Does God even see me?" he thought. He'd say, "Why does life favor others and not me? Maybe the universe is angry with me or cursed my family line. Or perhaps there are people secretly working against me." His faith wavered, his hope dimmed, but the truth was simpler than any spiritual explanation. Ethan had never stopped to understand the system. He had never paused to observe, to learn, to see opportunities others ignored. Logan, on the other hand, did something strange. For weeks, he did nothing. He walked around the marketplace watching. He observed the merchants. He studied the customers. He listened to conversations. The workers laughed at him. "Look at that lazy fool," they said. "He was given gold and still refuses to work." But Logan continued observing. Until one day, he saw something no one else noticed. Every morning, dozens of farmers arrived at the market with carts full of fruit. And every evening, half of that fruit rotted because it couldn't be sold in time. The farmers lost money, the merchants lost money, and the workers simply carried the leftovers away. Logan smiled. He finally understood something. The opportunity was never in working harder. The opportunity was in seeing what others ignore. Logan bought the unsold fruit at a very cheap price. Then, he hired workers to dry the fruit and sell it as preserved food. Soon, travelers, soldiers, and merchants began buying it. The business exploded. Within a few years, Logan owned warehouses, ships, trading routes. His wealth grew beyond anything the kingdom had seen. One day, the king walked through the same marketplace, and he saw Ethan again, still working, still carrying heavy crates, still poor. Ethan wiped sweat from his face and thought bitterly about all the spiritual explanations he had believed, all the curses and bad luck, all the unfairness of life. The king walked up to him. "Did I not give you the same gold I gave the richest merchant in my kingdom?" Ethan nodded sadly. "Yes, Your Majesty." "Then tell me, what happened?" "I worked as hard as I could," Ethan said quietly. He looked at the ground. "I did everything I was told, yet I have nothing." The king looked at him quietly. Then he asked the question that revealed everything. "Tell me, did you ever stop working long enough to think?" Ethan froze. The king continued. "Hard work is respected, but thinking creates wealth." The market fell silent, because suddenly everyone understood the truth. Most people are too busy surviving to ever step back and understand the game they are playing. It's rarely about curses, spiritual blocks, or bad luck. Most of the time, it's about knowledge, observation, and the small actions that create change. Ethan had worked endlessly, but he never learned how to work smarter. Logan saw the system. He observed. He acted with insight. Years later, people would repeat the king's words across the kingdom. If hard work alone created wealth, every laborer would be a king. The difference between the poor and the powerful is rarely effort. It is perspective. The poor man sells his strength. The wealthy man studies the system. And once you see the system, you never play the game the same way again. If you understood the real lesson hidden in this story, comment "I see the game" below. Because the moment you start seeing how the world truly works, you stop working just to survive, and you start building something that lasts,